What if Joker never killed? What if the man who became Gotham's monster chose silence instead of blood? What if, on that night, when the city begged for chaos, he decided to walk away? This isn't a story about redemption. It's about what remains when destruction never happens. Because sometimes the scariest version of madness is the one that learns to hold back the moment of choice. The night was the same, the laughter, the makeup, the gun hidden inside his jacket, all the same. Arthur Fleck stood in the greenish light of his apartment, staring at his reflection. In another timeline, he would go out and pull the trigger. He would paint the city with fear, but not tonight. Something in his reflection blinked, a moment of clarity, sharp and painful. He looked at the gun and saw not power, but repetition. Another scream in a city that had stopped listening. He whispered, "They'll just forget me again." And for the first time, he put the gun down. Outside, sirens cut through the dark. He sat by the window, watching the lights crawl across the concrete walls. In the room above, someone laughed at a late-night comedy show. Arthur smiled, not his usual twisted grin, but something smaller, something almost human. The next morning, Gotham woke up to nothing. No murder on the subway, no revolution, just another gray day. Arthur went to work. The clown company hadn't fired him yet, not because they cared, but because they forgot. He handed out flyers in front of a toy store. Children passed by. Some smiled. Most didn't. Inside, he heard the radio. Local comedian Arthur Fleck was scheduled to appear on the Murray Franklin Show tonight. He froze. The same invitation, the same stage. But this time, no gun. He still went. The lights on the set burned like interrogation lamps. Murray's smile was wide, hollow, perfect. Arthur's hands trembled. He wanted to make the same speech about cruelty, about how society throws away the broken ones. But as the words rose, he saw the faces in the crowd, not angry, not cruel, just tired. And he realized they didn't hate him. They just didn't see him. So he stopped. He looked at Murray and said softly, "You ever think that maybe we're not supposed to be seen? Maybe we're just the silence between commercials." The audience laughed. They thought it was a joke. Arthur smiled, this time genuinely. No blood, no chaos. Just a man who understood the absurdity of it all. When the cameras went off, the producer patted his shoulder. "Good bit, kid." Arthur nodded. He left the studio into the cold Gotham night, unremarkable again. Weeks passed. No one remembered his name. The city didn't burn. The subway stayed quiet. But something strange happened. Without the Joker, Gotham didn't become better. It just decayed slower. The same corruption, the same hunger, the same loneliness, only quieter. The people didn't rise up because there was nothing to rise against. The darkness had no symbol, no face. Arthur became invisible again, the way the city liked its forgotten men. He started cleaning the old comedy club at night. No one paid him, no one asked. He liked the silence, the smell of cigarettes, the empty chairs staring at the stage. Sometimes he stood under the spotlight, alone, whispering lines to no one. Knock, knock. Who's there? No one. No one cares. He would laugh quietly, then sweep the floor again. In a world without his chaos, Joker became a myth that never existed. The newspapers never wrote his name. The police never feared him. But deep down, Gotham still needed him, the way a sick body needs a fever to burn the infection out. Without the Joker, the city grew restless in a different way. Petty violence, politics, corruption disguised as progress. Every system kept running, slowly suffocating under its own weight. Arthur saw it. He watched the city rot politely, and sometimes, in his head, he'd imagine what would have happened if he had pulled the trigger, how they would have looked at him, how they would have finally seen him. But then he'd remember, they would have hated him, and hatred wasn't what he wanted. He wanted to be understood. That's the tragedy of this version of the story. He almost found peace. Almost. One night, Arthur returned to his apartment. The TV was on. The news played stories of politicians, crimes, promises. He sat down in front of the cracked mirror. For the first time in months, he painted his face again. Not for a show, not for revenge, just to see who he had been. He whispered, "You wanted to be someone they'd remember. And now, no one remembers you." A tear rolled through the white paint. He laughed quietly, the sound of both irony and surrender. Maybe that's what peace looks like. He wiped the makeup away, slowly, deliberately. The next morning, Gotham was the same. People rushing to work, sirens in the distance, rain starting to fall. Arthur stood on a bridge, watching the reflection of skyscrapers ripple in the water. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small notebook. Inside were jokes, drawings, and one final line. The city doesn't need a villain. It already ate itself. He closed the notebook and let it fall into the river. The current carried it away. He didn't smile. He didn't cry. He just disappeared into the crowd. Somewhere, far away, someone laughed on the radio. And for a brief second, the sound echoed through the streets, a faint reminder of the laughter that never became terror. The Joker never killed. And yet, in his silence, he might have done something far stranger. He let Gotham live just long enough to destroy itself. This was What If Joker Didn't Kill, a MindCut story where choice becomes destiny and silence becomes the loudest scream. If one decision could change everything, what would you choose? Subscribe for the next What If story, because sometimes the smallest moment rewrites the entire world.